Hi and welcome to the latest Ancient Egypt news from the first week of June. A significant archaeological breakthrough has been uncovered in the historic district of Matariya in Ain Shams, where excavations at the tomb of Panessi have revealed the first nearly complete funerary furniture set ever discovered in the area, alongside a trove of rare artefacts that shed new light on burial practices across centuries. The discovery, made by an Egyptian archaeological mission affiliated with the Supreme Council of Antiquities, the SCA, offers fresh insight into the ancient necropolis of Heliopolis, one of the most important religious centres of the ancient world. The find underscores the growing success of Egyptian-led excavations in rereading the historical and cultural legacy of Heliopolis, as the newly uncovered objects provide a more detailed understanding of both daily life and funerary traditions spanning multiple historical periods. Hisham El-Dithi, Secretary-General of the SCA, explained that excavations uncovered a mud brick burial containing human skeletal remains, and continued careful excavation beneath it led to the discovery of a concealed archaeological cachette featuring a distinguished collection of cosmetic tools and symbolic objects associated with funerary practices. Among the standout artifacts is a copper mirror, along with two alabaster coal containers still preserving traces of cosmetic material. A third coal container, crafted from rare black obsidian, adds particular significance due to the rarity of the material in similar archaeological contexts. The excavation team also uncovered two light blue faience vessels. One vessel contained 6 intricately inscribed scarabs, including 2 encased in yellow metal frames believed to be gold. Mohammed Abdelbadi, head of the Egyptian Antiquities sector, stated that the cachette also included a collection of faience amulets in symbolic forms, including a duck-shaped amulet and another representing the Artef crown. The discovery further revealed 4 stones, 2 of which are believed to be carnelian, 1 pinkish red and encased in a yellow metal frame, likely made of gold, and another with a greenish blue hue. Archaeologists have also recovered a notable collection of yellow-coloured metal earrings, consisting of 5 pairs of varying sizes, again believed to be made of gold, with diameters ranging between 1.5 and 2.5 centimetres. Abdelbadi added that the discovery builds on earlier excavation results at the site this season, which revealed mud brick and limestone funerary structures, as well as 2 coffins found in a fragmented, stacked condition. One coffin was made of pottery, while the other, constructed from plaster with a gilded appearance and decorated with red inscriptions, contained gilded remains believed to belong to a military figure, along with a coin possibly dating to the Roman period. Additional limestone blocks bearing hieroglyphic inscriptions were also uncovered, further enhancing the archaeological significance of the site and supporting efforts to better understand its chronological and cultural development, he said. The necropolis, where the tomb of Panessi is located, represents a vital archaeological record documenting the different periods the area has witnessed, having served as a burial ground for prominent individuals from the late period through the Roman era and into the Christian period. The site forms part of the greater necropolis of ancient Heliopolis, historically known as On, the principal religious centre for the worship of the sun god Re, giving the discovery particular importance in understanding the evolution of funerary practices, religious beliefs and social structures in one of ancient Egypt's most sacred cities. Excavations in Ihnasya, an ancient city in the province of Beni Suef, revealed a rare find of artefacts from different periods, including an inscription linked to the pharaoh Senusret III, a marble head of Aphrodite, and new parts of a Roman basilica, expanding the understanding of the religious, political and economic importance of the site. One of the main finds is a reused stone block with the cartouche of Senusret III, ruler of the 12th dynasty. The inscription preserves both the throne name and the birth name of the pharaoh. The discovery gains relevance because Senusret III was already associated with other monuments found in the region. The new record strengthens the connection between the pharaoh and Ihnasya, a city that played an important role in different phases of Egyptian history. Archaeologists also identified another cartouche related to Osiris Nefertem, a deity worshipped in the area. The presence of this reference reinforces the religious character of the city and shows how its places of worship span different historical periods. Known by the Greeks as Heracleopolis Magna, Ihnasya maintained religious importance even after ceasing to be a capital. The set of finds helps explain why the site remains relevant for the study of urban, religious and political organisation of ancient Egypt. The excavations also revealed previously unknown sections of a Roman basilica. During the work, archaeologists identified that elements of an ancient Doric temple were dismantled and reused in the construction of the religious building. Preliminary analyses indicate that in the 6th century CE, the builders incorporated parts of this earlier structure into the foundations and floor that supported the basilica's columns. The reuse of materials shows an important transformation in the use of public and religious spaces in Ihnasya. Large stone blocks were arranged to form a base capable of supporting monumental columns. Some of these columns are estimated to weigh around 45 tons. 3 of them remain preserved in their original positions, which helps researchers study the techniques used in the construction and adaptation of the building. Another highlight of the excavations is a marble head representing Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love and beauty. The piece measures approximately 24 by 25 centimeters. The sculpture preserves refined details such as facial features and sculpted curls. According to archaeologists, the piece follows common characteristics of classical representations of deities and prominent figures of the Greco-Roman world. The material is classified as a rare example among the finds already identified at the archaeological site. Its presence broadens the picture of cultural influences recorded in Ihnasya over time. The discovery also reinforces the presence of Greco-Roman elements in the city, which underwent successive religious, architectural and institutional transformations. In addition to the inscription of Senusret III, the head of Aphrodite, and the structures of the Roman basilica, archaeologists located fragments of sculpted reliefs, decorated architectural elements, and clay moulds used in coin production. These materials indicate that Ihnasya remained active and economically relevant long after the end of the Pharaonic era. The presence of the moulds points to activities related to monetary production during the Roman period. The set of evidence helps reconstruct the city's trajectory over more than a millennium. The discoveries show changes in religious practices, architecture, and public institutions, reflecting the influence of different cultures. The recovered materials are still under analysis and will undergo new dating studies. Researchers hope to more precisely understand how Ihnasya transformed and how its inhabitants responded to the political, religious, and cultural changes throughout Egypt's long history. The Egyptian Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, in cooperation with the Egyptian Consulate in Houston, Texas, has successfully recovered 4 rare Egyptian artifacts that have been smuggled into the United States, according to a statement recently issued by the Egyptian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The recovered pieces date back to different periods of ancient Egyptian civilization and represent another milestone in Egypt's ongoing efforts to reclaim its cultural heritage. The ministry stated that the recovery reflects the Egyptian state's commitment to protecting its cultural legacy and preserving its national identity. It also highlights the strong relationship between Egypt and the United States, as well as the close cooperation between the two countries in combating the illicit trafficking of cultural property and promoting respect for humanity's shared heritage. Among the most significant artifacts recovered is a granite statue head depicting a royal figure wearing a traditional pharaonic headdress. The piece dates back to the 18th dynasty of the New Kingdom. The latest recovery builds on a framework of bilateral cooperation established through a 5-year Memorandum of Understanding signed by Egypt and the United States in Cairo in November 2021. The agreement, signed by Jonathan R. Cohen and Mustafa Waziri, replaced the previous 2016 MOU and expanded protections for a wider range of Egyptian cultural objects. It also strengthened cooperation between the two countries to prevent the trafficking of archaeological artifacts and facilitate the identification, recovery, and return of stolen cultural property. Excavations at Tel Kom Aziza in Beira Governorate have uncovered part of a Greco-Roman cemetery along with evidence of settlement activity stretching back to the Old Kingdom, offering a long archaeological sequence that spans several major periods of Egyptian history. The work was carried out by an Egyptian archaeological mission under the SCA. According to the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, The cemetery was built above earlier occupation layers, and the stratigraphy indicates repeated use of the site from the Old Kingdom through the New Kingdom and late period into the Greco-Roman era. The excavation revealed a wide range of burial forms. Some graves were simple pits cut into the soil, while others had mud brick linings that created more structured burial spaces. Archaeologists also recovered burials placed in decorated plaster coffins and in barrel-shaped pottery coffins, a form commonly associated with the Ptolemaic period. Preliminary study of the human remains points to considerable variation in funerary practices. Researchers documented both individual and collective burials. Bodies were oriented either north-south or east-west, and arm positions differed from one burial to another. Some individuals had hands crossed over the pelvis, while others had hands near the neck. Some were placed in the Assyrian pose with arms crossed over the chest, and others had arms extended along the thighs. The team says this pattern reflects multiple traditions of body preparation and burial treatment rather than a single uniform rite. A particularly unusual find was the complete burial of wild boars within one of the archaeological layers. Boar burials are extremely rare in ancient Egyptian funerary contexts because pigs and boars carried negative associations in some Egyptian religious traditions, especially through their connection with the god Seth. Excavation leaders say the animals may relate more to economic or domestic activity at the site during a certain phase of occupation than to a formal funerary ritual, although further analysis is still needed. Beyond the cemetery, the mission uncovered material from everyday life. Finds include ceramic and stone vessels, bread-making moulds, stone tools, ovens, storage containers, and large quantities of fish, bird, and mammal remains. The faunal assemblage will help reconstruct diet, food processing, and local economic activity across different periods of occupation. The site's importance lies in the combination of funerary evidence and settlement evidence within a single stratified sequence. The Greco-Roman cemetery represents only the latest visible phase of a landscape that had already been occupied for centuries. Each layer preserves traces of changing patterns of habitation, production, burial, and interaction with the surrounding delta environment. Officials from the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities and the SCA described Tel Kom Aziza as one of the Nile Delta's most promising multi-period archaeological sites. Future excavation seasons are expected to focus on clarifying the chronology of the cemetery, the relationship between different burial types, and the function of the boar burials within the broader history of the settlement. And that's it for this week. This news podcast is brought to you by Ted Laux and GNT Tours. Ancient Egypt News is rated in the top 5 Egypt history podcasts according to feedspot.com. For 2026 tour dates, check out our website gnttours.com. Follow us on social media. Thanks for listening to this episode. Please feel free to comment and share. Until next time, thanks again. Cheers. Bye-bye.